Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 board gaming video. Today's topic is all about semi-cooperative games. So essentially these are rather unique games where you do have a lot of cooperative elements where everybody is working together, typically to accomplish a common goal, but then at the same time you also have everybody trying to accomplish a secret objective, something that only they know about, and or you've got people who are actively working against the group, or all sorts of different things that are kind of in between there. I tend to find these a little bit more compelling than strict cooperative games, unless I'm playing with brand new people to gaming, because I find it to be a lot more intriguing and make the table talk a lot more interesting. But that said, of course, as always, I would love to hear what you guys have to think. What are your personal favorite semi-cooperative games? How do you define a semi-cooperative games? Or do you just not like them in general, or anything else in between? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because you know I love to hear it all. But that said, we're going to jump right on in with my number 5. At number 5, I've got Betrayal at House on the Hill. This is a game that I personally consider semi-cooperative because you do have everybody working cooperatively initially, and then suddenly, boom, one of you is actively working against the group now. The thing is though, it's so low on the list because you have that very sudden and jarring transition to where everybody is working together to now somebody isn't. And I like to see a little bit more subtlety in terms of the semi-cooperative nature where you're not sure who's working against you, but at the same time, Betrayal at House on the Hill is a good game. It's got reasonable mechanics. It's very popular. You can find it pretty much anywhere, and so it's a good sort of introduction to this idea of gaming where suddenly you see that somebody is now working against you. Betrayal at House on the Hill, my number 5. At number 4, I've got Battlestar Galactica. This is a wonderfully well done cooperative game where the idea is that one or more of the players at the table is going to be an active traitor. They are going to be a Cylon who is trying to stop the people's plans from escaping, essentially. But that said, it suffers a little bit from the same issue that other traitorous type games as well as Betrayal at House on the Hill suffer, in that you know for certain that there is somebody who is completely and utterly working against you. You know exactly what they're trying to do, or at least in the context of they're trying to make us not be good. They're trying to actively bring us down. You know that they have that singular objective. The fact is that all in all, the game is difficult to play through, even if you have everybody cooperating, but it is a wonderfully well done and my favorite traitor mechanic game that is out there. That said, as far as semi-cooperative is concerned, it's a little bit too much semi, and it's a little bit too little cooperative when it comes to being able to trust everybody around the table. Battlestar Galactica, my number 4. At number 3, I've got Cutthroat Caverns. This is kind of a unique game in that it's really fast, but you also have this very distinct idea of you don't know exactly what's going to happen and who's going to, quote, betray you. With the idea being that everybody is trying to fight a particular monster, and whoever gets the killing blow is the one who ends up getting the points. With the idea being that you can potentially be thrown under the bus and forced to miss out, or forced to do something that you otherwise wouldn't want to do, and all that kind of thing. I love this as a semi-cooperative game because everybody is fighting for the same goal, which is to defeat the monster. But again, only the person who actually lands that last blow is the one who gets the points for it. So you never know what exactly is going to happen, who is going to throw you under the bus, how you could get thrown under the bus, or anything along those lines. Which, as far as the semi-cooperative aspect is concerned, puts it above Battlestar as well as Betrayal for me personally. But it's middle of the road because it is a very simple game and you don't have a whole lot going on with it, but what it does have is very well streamlined, it's very well done, and it's a lot of fun. Cutthroat Caverns, my number 3. At number 2, I've got Nemesis, a game that has kind of taken the board gaming world by storm. This is a wonderful game where you have a lot of asymmetric capabilities as far as the different characters that are playing within, where you have your scientists, your soldiers, and all of this kind of thing, and everybody is essentially trying to fight the big bad guy, the Nemesis, essentially. But throughout the game, everybody has their own secret objective cards. Everybody is trying to accomplish some very specific things that are only for them. So yes, it is cooperative. Everybody is trying to get out. Everybody is trying to win. But at the same time, everybody is also trying to do these very specific things. Some of them are not so bad for the group. Others are kind of bad for the group. And on top of that, you've got a really interesting and fascinating narrative that's going on throughout the entire game that sort of unfolds, and you can see all sorts of big giant climactic events that will occur and drastically affect how the party is balanced, what you're doing, what you have to focus on, all of that kind of stuff. You see a lot of different things coalescing here in a really nice way. Nemesis, my number 2. At number 1, I've got Dead of Winter, and frankly, this is the game that I thought of first when I considered doing something about semi-cooperative games. The fact is that I absolutely adore the mechanic this game has, which is the crossroads, where you're essentially looking at individual cards to see if some particular event occurs whenever somebody is doing their own action. And on top of that, just like with Nemesis, everybody has their own particular secret objective cards, but sometimes, not all the time, you may have somebody who is a betrayer and they are actively going against the group. And in this case, it's zombie apocalypse in the winter wonderland type of thing, where, you know, maybe your goal is to allow the base to be overrun or something along those lines. It can be enormously frustrating trying to figure out if somebody is a traitor, and if they are, how they're a traitor, because maybe they're just being selfish because they've got their own little secret objective, but maybe they're being selfish because they are the active betrayer and they are trying to completely screw over the entire group. It is absolutely amazing. It creates an incredible table dynamic as well as just overall discussion amongst the different players. It's a lot of fun to play. You've got a ton of different characters within that you'll be able to play as. You have a lot of different asymmetry in terms of their capabilities and what they can do, where they can go, how efficient they are at particular things. Really, really well done. A ton of fun. Great game overall. Dead of Winter, my number 1. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my top 5 favorite semi-cooperative games. Like I said, the way that I personally define this is essentially as games where you do have mostly cooperative actions where everybody is trying to work together for a common goal, but ideally you have something a little bit subtle. You have a little bit of intrigue going on in terms of who's going against us. Are they going against us? Could they be going against us? Why would they be? That sort of thing. And so I love to see that subtlety because I find that it creates a lot more interesting table dynamic and table discussion when you're going into these type of games rather than the more blatant, we know that there's a traitor. That said, those types of games certainly are semi-cooperative in my opinion, but as always, your guys' opinion is what I really want to hear. So let me know what you think in the comments below, whether it's your favorite game of this category. If you don't like it, if you do like it, please let me know. You guys know I love to hear it all. And that's said, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at my social media pages as well, where you can interact with myself and my channel in a whole bunch of really fun and interesting ways. But once again, thank you very much for watching this. Hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.